Do you believe in guardian angels? There's a theory out there that may explain the feeling that some in high stress may get that they aren't alone and are even being led to safety. It's called the third man factor, and stories of these unseen beings are a lot more common than you may think. Let's get some tea and I'll tell you about it. Who is the third who walks always beside you? When I count, there are only you and I together. But when I look ahead up the white road, there is always another one walking beside you. This is a portion of the poem The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot, but he is said to have gotten inspiration from an experience of British explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton. In December of 1914, Shackleton and a crew of 28 men set out for Antarctica. When they were just a day's sailing from their intended destination, their ship became trapped in pack ice and eventually sank to the bottom of the Weddell Sea. It wasn't until April of 1916 that Shackleton and a few of his men were able to make a go for civilization in an attempt to save the rest of the crew. They had battled months of dangerous conditions and many setbacks when they finally landed back on South Georgia Island. Unfortunately, they were blown off course in their small lifeboats and ended up on the wrong side. Shackleton and 3 of his men set off on another trek, this time forging a path never taken by humans before, over mountains and down glaciers with only a rope and an axe in hand. 36 hours of treacherous hiking later, they finally made it to safety and were able to send help to their men. The entire crew was eventually rescued, but something strange happened to those men during those final hours. All 3 of the men felt a protecting presence with them on that mountainside. Quote, "I know that during that long and racking march of 36 hours over the unnamed mountains and glaciers of South Georgia, it seemed to me often that we were 4, not 3. This being spent their final moments with them while they were in mortal danger and likely extreme exhaustion as they pushed their bodies to the limit, trying to get the help that they needed. But they aren't the only ones. The third man factor has been felt by many people over many decades. I've read countless stories of people pushing themselves through perilous circumstances filled with feelings of immense danger and extreme stress, feeling an extra presence there with them. Sometimes, like I said, leading them on to safety, guiding them through to make it to the other side. There are many theories, some scientific, like it could be the triggering of a portion of the brain called the temporoparietal junction that creates the perception of ourself outside of the body. And maybe that's what our brain does when our body is feeling these intense feelings of danger, gives us a way to cope and not feel so alone. Some call it the angel switch, and maybe there's something to that. But there is another theory, something a little more supernatural. Maybe it's possible that we have a guardian angel or something like it out there watching over us and keeping us out of harm's way. And like I said, there are so many stories of people in situations like this, sometimes in even much less danger, hearing and feeling the presence of another with them, leading them to safety that they didn't even know was needed at the time. So if you'd like to hear those, you can follow our podcast Ghosties wherever you get your podcasts.